Hey guys, welcome to Coma Pirate Radio, where we as esoteric pirates slide our boats together, throw the ropes, tie the knots, and talk about the maps. And we are coming together discussing maps that aren't the territory, that change constantly. So I am now learning how to put things here, like this map, okay? Now, if you're new to this channel, thank you so much. If you identify as being a pirate, meaning kind of the rebel, kind of the outcast, kind of the black flag, watery emotions, not necessarily being a pirate. I mean, I do like boats, but I don't like spending a lot of time on the boats. I remember past lives where I have, but the point being is if you're new to the channel and you identify with this whole, not even identify with, if you like esoteric information and knowledge, and if you're seeking truth out of all this horse shit, out of all this mess, I mean, it's fertilizer. So thank you. Please like and subscribe if you like it and want to subscribe, because it helps out the channel. What does it even help? It's good to understand sometimes what you're even supporting. And you can check out my website at Center of Mystic Arts. That's Center of Mystic, Mystics for Mystics, Arts, meaning that the center is in you and the art is also within you. So thank you so much for your support. Now, I've been doing all of these videos a little bit different each time, and there's just a lot. So what I have started to understand is to mix the solar party paradigm with the cosmic dialogue, which they always have, but today, keeping it in the now is important. I tried to do it in the future because, the video, I don't know how long it's going to take to upload the video. And the map, as we've discussed, always changes. It is in rotation. So if you don't catch it now, it might be different in a little while. Now, the thing about this map is that some things go slower and are easier to follow. Some things are within our sight, and that makes it easier to follow. But some things move very, very fast, and if you don't catch it, then you don't see it, right? If you're not looking at the right moment, you might miss it. So at this moment, the 28th, and I hate putting those numbers on. Why do I hate putting the numbers on the videos? Because you might not see it now, right? Like usually I'm not one of those channels that have 10,000 in an hour. Like, I don't even think that's real. I really don't. I think that's all like just the computer numbers. I think the numbers change on these devices. I do. And that's cool. I don't care. But anyway, I'm working on trying to change the numbers. In fact, as magicians, now it's hard to change those numbers. If you work with numerology, that is part of esoteric studies, numerology and math, which I've always hated math. But since I've gotten into numerology, it's starting to make sense with astrology. Everything is making more sense to me since I channeled this, and that's the God's honest truth. I've always written, I'm going to put the picture there. But like, I've always been interested in astrology, and I've always been a mystic, and I've written everything down for the Akashic Records. You know, I've always been a magician. But as far as like paying attention to astrology, the way I'm paying attention to it now is different since these cards came to being, because without the cards, I wasn't able to. I mean, that's just for right now. You know, I mean, I remember a time when we were able to feel things so strongly, but I've been told that's because of the electricity in the wires. With all the electricity that's being used, it's being taken out of the ethers, it's being used in these houses, and put in electric lines. Like that used to be free in the ether, and we were able to use that, you know, to communicate with each other. But anyway, what needed to be communicated today is this very specific part. Like a lot of times I will just open up astroseek.com current planets on these devices. Then I look. There's a lot of symbols. There's a reason why we need to learn the symbols to read the map. So these cards, the Solar Party Paradigm cards, are separated in planets. All of the planets and some of the placements, the VX, the Fortune, you know, and the nodes, right? And then we have all of the constellations, you know, with you notice the symbol is the key, and these are flashcards, right? We have all of the houses. Now, if you've noticed, all of the cards have a different border for each of these, because when you're working with them, it is easier to keep them separate, right? So if I want to look at a planet and I want to be like, okay, what's going on with Venus? Where is Venus? And I know that I can find it easier with a small deck than trying to look for it in the 55 card deck, right? So, wait, we'll see. And then they just disappear sometimes. Sometimes I'm looking for Taurus. And we also notice that they're color-coded, so it can be, see, I would look for green, but that's not Taurus. So, and sometimes the cards, there it is, hide from you, right? So you're able to look at Venus in Taurus. And then with the map, right, you're able to look at this symbol, which is one of the, jeez, Louise. Conjunction, this symbol. You learn all of these symbols. What do all these symbols mean? And with the few amount of words, you're able to remember the flashcards. Remember what flashcards, were for. So this card says that these guys, and I'm gonna start using the these cards, Venus and Uranus, are in conjunction in Taurus. And they wanted to speak. So there was a lot with the devices. And why aren't you recording outside? You want to be outside. It's beautiful outside. The cow wants to be outside in the grass. The green wants to be in the sunshine. But these devices don't really like heat and sun, I've noticed. And now granted, I was like, yeah, but we could be in the shade and we don't have to be in the sun, the blazing sun, and the devices were like, anyway, I feel things. I feel these devices. It's a thing. So even with that decision, recording inside, and that Uranus is androgynous, being masculine air, and revolutionary, we're going to pull from the unicorn deck for what Uranus wants to say. And then from Venus in her power, in her Taurus glory, in her home, and I just got back to my family home where I feel, there's nothing like home, right? We're going to pull from the dragons. So let's see what we got here. Uranus wants to speak first. The one thing about, and I'm going to put his card here, an androgynous tech guy that's wanting to press record. It's arm in arm with the beauty queen, like all eyes on her. She is the star. The beauty queen. Lilith's over there doing some crazy stuff too, which Lilith is the, the dark side. Now there's a lot to that, and the black pirate flag, the dark. A lot of messages are coming through the dark and the shadow, and we can't be, as pirates. You can be whatever you want to be. There's all the spectrums of the rainbow. Nobody's telling anybody what to be. If you want to be on my boat, energetically, if you want to listen to the channel, and it's whatever. We support each other. We talk about maps. If you want to play, we're all on a playground. All right. Inner child work. And being able to understand that we are still children, to enter the heavens, to know thyself, and to be connected with the inner child. And there is a lot about the carnival ride, the carnies, the little bit of being scared, the attraction to ghosts, and to cemeteries, and to death. Uranus, it's all in your ass. Electric. It is the electric feeling, is it not? Is it not that guy? Oh my God, I just saw a picture of a horse that looks like that, and I have pulled the king numerous times in very synchronistic points. But that's all for me. You're not going to understand any of that, other than maybe this card feels powerful from the electric. Well, I don't need to pull the card. Uranus, the electric engineer, the social media manager, in a way that you don't even realize that's through through technology. It's revolutionary. It's ChatGPT. Now listen. It's all fun and games until somebody gets hurt. And that's the whole point why we can't be scared of it, okay? If we're constantly scared of the boogeyman coming out of these devices and AI and ChatGPT and all that, then it's like it creates the power. It manifests the bad thing. He's like, oh, you're scared of me? That gives me power. A lot of power. A lot of power. Don't give it that much power. Don't feed it. Oh, God, feeding the demons. But what about feeding your demons? What about feeding your demons? Well, I mean, definitely, there's a lot to that. There's a lot. Feed him good food, for one. Don't chain him up. Put him in a cage. For two. Become friends. Now, it is a little bit harder to become friends with a horse. And if you're not an equestrian, sometimes the idea of this unicorn is that they're all lovey-dovey, like dogs, you know. And even the Native Americans called them big dogs. But they're not. Horses act very differently than dogs. And they won't follow you unless you've worked with them and you've gained a very strong relationship with them. And even the ones you love, I mean, Chola, my horse, she probably wouldn't follow me. I mean, I haven't really tried. Like, she's always on a lead when I walk her around and she follows me. But if I took her off the lead, what she would do is run off and think that I was behind her. And she looks back and like, wait, I thought you were right behind me. Like, she doesn't understand that I can't follow her. But with the messages from Uranus and horses and rebellious pirates, being rebellious and being revolutionary. Where is this Uranus card? You know, innovative and original. Social. Very much wanting to communicate with the other. Now, arm in arm with Venus. Okay? We got, all right. That was a lot. King of air, swords, Uranus. Now we're going to talk to Venus. Now, Venus, you know, is a very different emotional feeling. The relationship and the love, the beauty, but not the vanity. Sensual. The feelings, the senses. Seductive. Fertile. I mean, I'm reading this card while I have that card up. Thank you, Cap Cuts. But merciful. All right. So here we have a very different. This is not Uranus. Very different. To know the difference. All right. But they're both twins right now. That's the whole point of the conjunction. is that they are sharing so much energy that you can't feel them apart from each other. Okay? All right. 6 of Wands of fire. 6 is the number of beauty. The passion is the fire. Well, why don't you say the obvious? Just say the obvious. Sometimes it's easier just to say the obvious. Venus. Say what you mean while I press record. No. I mean, yes. I mean, no. I mean, yes. Make up your mind. Libra. Libra's like, I can hold both at the same time. I don't know what you're talking about. I can do both. I can laugh at it and cry at it at the same time. I am 3 plus 3. The beauty's in the symmetry. And this is on YouTube. This is for YouTube. Check out my Patreon account. I'm trying to figure out the difference. It's a big difference. But they're linked. They're definitely linked. One leads to the other. The YouTube is free and the Patreon is free as well, but the Patreon has the option of an easy option of supporting 2-2 on the time clock. To be a supporter of the Center of Mystic Arts and what that even means, because the beauty queen wants to be seen, and it's not about the beauty. It's about the Uranus. It's about the mysticism. It's about the astrology. It's about the electricity we share, not about the relationship. I mean, the relationship's there, yes, but it's not about, it's like that there's what it is and what it isn't. You know. What it is a way for us to reconnect with our macrocosm, which is Tantra. You know, and how Tantra is the connection with the earth, the sensuality with the earth and with the self. Being able to press record. But what messages? Because Uranus is social. What message are you given? What's your message? And I mean, again, all the messages are amazing. All the messages are beautiful and accepted and invited. Because without that, we wouldn't have all of the notes and all the different colors, right? The rainbows. We need that. But that's not all we have to explore as pirates. A lot of times we're stranded on an island with nobody but a soccer ball or a volleyball to talk to. A ball. Make sure that's a crystal ball. If I'm stranded on an island, I'm gonna have my crystal ball with me. She comes everywhere with me now. A lot of things come everywhere with me now. Traveling and traveling around. And I want to try and keep these short, but it's not like we covered very much. It was just a conversation. There's a lot going on at the solar party. A lot. there's like this new moon going on too, and the moon is moving really fast. I mean, it was in conjunction, and then and actually there's the other thing I want to talk about is that, everybody's talking about Uranus changing signs into Gemini, but nobody's even saying that Venus is doing it first. Like when I looked at the week, Venus passes Uranus because Venus goes faster and she enters Gemini first. Next week, even. And I'm going to double check, but yeah. Next 7 days from now, Venus will be at 1%. Venus will be at 1% Gemini before Uranus. And everybody's just looking at Uranus. It's interesting. I thought all eyes were on the beauty queen. But they're in conjunction. But she's moving away. She's letting go of him. Well, of it, the energy of Uranus, and passing pretty quickly. So that, what do you want to say about that? Let me see. Venus in passing Uranus early. What do you want to say about that? What emotional response do you want to... That's your emotional response. I can feel that. I can feel that. She's like, what? So, the one thing I noticed is that the Nexus Clips, who would have thought, the one app that is the most aggravating, gets me the most views. Now, why do I want that many views? Because these cards could possibly change the world in that they could help you. If they're used, I mean, I've found that they're not much help unless I'm looking at them daily. The stars. And it's as above, so below. What you're doing in this physical realm is what you're doing in the astral realm. As above, so below. So I am going to do the best I can with what I got. And the goal is for Center of Mystic Arts. It's not a goal. It is a thing. The center is in Costa Rica, and it is a place that I share my space, my personal space, back to my space, with mystic travelers that want to study the map, and remember minimalism and live very minimally, very much in connection with nature, because that's the way I like it. That's the way I do it, and that's the way that my experience is shared, is in the wild, and with horses. I have horses that I work with on a daily, and sometimes it's really difficult, way more difficult than you think. And yeah, anyway, Uranus and Venus can get along. And I wonder, let me look at one of the aspects. Let me see. For today, this Venus doesn't have any other... Oh, the square with the moon. Okay. Square with the moon. That would make perfect sense. The square, right? The really difficult feelings, frustrated with the moon right now, while she's in conjunction with Uranus. Who is she looking at? And understanding that this is a strong foundation. We're trying to build the sacred builders, not a wall for evil and oppression, a wall for protection. For the children, to protect the children of this planet energetically with the electric centers. The electric centers. Anyway, I'm going to be sharing a lot more immediate, shared, channeled messages through Patreon. A little bit looser. And this is on YouTube, and I will also be cutting it up with Nexus clips and giving you little snippets of what it is. I am looking for patrons, supporters, for the mission of having a mystic center that is there, just support for it. I mean, and the alarms have just gone off in Fort Benning, Georgia. Yes, I will always call it Fort Benning and not Fort Moore. That's just ridiculous. But protection. It's not with the military. I don't really work with the military. I mean, I do work with the military. Absolutely. Mars, I work with Mars a lot. Military discounts, in fact. I meant in politics. I don't work with politics. Thank you so much for your support. Stay tuned to Coma Pirate Radio. And whether you're traveling physically or mentally, may it be in love and light. Don't forget those shadows. Don't be too scared of them. And don't forget your magic bag. It has everything you need. Until next time. Ciao.